Okay, let's see.
Right way.
Good? Yeah, you're looking good. Okay, back again at the 2016 Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama with Kentucky inside linebacker Josh Forrest. Josh, only day one, but tell me how the whole experience has been so far, just sitting back and reflecting on these past 24 hours.
It's been really cool, meeting a lot of new people, meeting some coaches that hopefully get you a job later on. Some of the players that I've heard about and I've seen on film, I get to play with them now, so it's definitely been a good experience.
Was there one or two players that you saw on film that you're kind of a little jacked up to play with, or at least meet?
Kentrail Brothers is one, doing the tackle watch and watching him do tackles. Some other guys, some of the D linemen, the guy from Louisville, Rankins, from Louisville, yeah. So there's some guys like that.
Some big name, Brothers, obviously SEC, led the SEC in tackles, tackling machine. Now, you say you were watching him tackle. You made a transition not long ago from a receiver, if I remember correctly, in high school, to linebacker. Now, talk to me about that switch. Was that your idea? Was it the coach's idea? And just how smooth of a transition, or how tough has that been for you?
The coach's decision, defensive coach Rick Minner. It was his decision, he asked me about it, threw out some names like Winston Guy and things like that. So, it all sounded good at first. It was a slow start to it, and I've been doing it since my freshman year, so I then picked it up, I think.
No doubt. I got to think right away there's probably a little bit rocky transition right out the gate. And were there times when it was a little discouraging and you look back and said, this is going to be maybe something I regret later on?
Early when I switched over the first year and still didn't play much, I was thinking maybe I should have stayed at receiver. After my redshirt year, I could have got some time, but I just kept working at it and came along.
I think it's a good thing that you stuck with it, because I got to be honest, I watch a lot of film and I talk to a lot of coaches and scouts, and they're really intrigued with just your pure athletic ability for the position. And what you got to remember is that, a lot of these guys, they know you just made a switch not long ago, and they know that you have plenty of room to grow. Have you talked to any coaches or scouts here about that switch yet? Or, I know you guys sit in a lot of interviews and kind of get the ring around through a lot of these guys. Have they talked to you about that switch yet, and maybe where they think you'd be best at in the NFL?
Some of them asked where I think I would be best at. Some of them asked about the switch and about how long it took to, start really getting it. But I think the linebacker's where I'm going to be.
Is there a specific linebacker spot? I'm not sure if Kentucky played a 3-4 or 4-3, but is there one specific linebacker spot that you would like to play in the NFL if you had your choice?
Just one of the inside backers. I like the inside. Didn't do much outside. They threw me in sometimes, but I like more of the inside backer.
No doubt. That's why you like Rankins, because he's a guy who's going to clear some holes for you
and
eat up those blockers for you.
Definitely,
Makes some space,
definitely.
for sure. You talk about a little tough transition going from receiver to linebacker. How about just the tough transition getting thrown in the fire this week, right? I mean, you pretty much get off the bus, right, and it's go.
Right.
Interviews, getting your helmet, the pads, learning a new playbook. Is that a little stressful for you guys, or do you guys try to just sit back and enjoy the process?
A little of both. A little stressful.
Yeah.
But then I try to remember that the other guys are going through the same thing.
No doubt.
So then I try to sit back and just enjoy it. That's the only thing that can happen.
Is the defensive playbook, is it pretty vanilla? Is it pretty limited? Because I imagine in such short time and notice that you guys can only run some pretty basic concepts. Is that right?
Yeah, for the most part. But they have thrown in a little wedge where they want us to. They could simplify it a little more, but they want us to see how we think, see how far, how much it takes us to get that part of it.
You're absolutely right. This is my third year down here, and I gotta think after doing it a couple of years, I've started to realize that they definitely want to see how you guys adjust on the fly to different schematic points and audibles and things like that. But the off the field process during this week, I'm starting to think that it's almost just as important as the on-the-field stuff between the interviews and just all the connections that you meet. Talk to me about how that off-the-field stuff has gone so far in just the limited time that you've done it.
It's kind of been back to back to back. People calling, texting. It's just been back to back, and you kind of you want to get everybody, but sometimes it's hard. But definitely it's been, in a small amount of time, because you still have to put your priorities first, like meetings. You got meetings, practice. You don't want to be the last one on the bus, things like that. So.
Right. And Phil Savage even mentioned that, even if, you're drafted by a team, you say you throw the other 31 teams and the connections in the trap, well, you know what? You never know who's your coach is going to be the next year, or where you're going to be the next year, and then all of a sudden those connections come into place. Is that something that you kind of keep in the back of your mind, all this stuff?
And I like to treat people the same anyway. Everybody wants, I want to get treated right, and I'm sure everybody else does. So.
No doubt. I'm sure. I'm not even going to ask you what teams you've been in contact with, because I'm sure it's been plenty, more than a handful or two, and then what other teams you haven't. I'm sure they're going to contact you eventually. Growing up, though, was there one or two teams? Did you have a favorite team growing up? I mean, in the back of your mind, is there one ideal dream scenario where you'd love to play?
Favorite team would probably be the Titans, just because it was so close to home.
Yeah.
The only game that I could ever really, go to. I've been in like 2 Titans games, so that was, the team I liked then. But as I've grown, I guess maybe the Dolphins.
Dolphins?
Yeah, I like the Dolphins.
Miami,
yeah.
right? We went up on Miami, no doubt. Again, probably all a dream scenario, really, wherever you get drafted.
Right.
And again, it sounds like that inside linebacker role is where you want to play. Talk to me about the guys and just the camaraderie here. Again, it's a job interview, right? It's a job fair going on. Do you guys get a chance to sit back and again, enjoy the process a little bit? Are guys loose out here, or is it kind of a stressful situation on the bus and in the locker room and at night?
I feel like everybody's loose, Everybody's, trying to click together. Not click together, but, get to know each other and things like that. So it's definitely a chill time.
Try to enjoy the process
right.
anyways, no doubt. Is there one or two guys that maybe behind the scenes is a little bit more, let's just say a little bit more loose than others? Is there one like class clown on the bus? Have you found out that yet? Or
it's the kid from Oklahoma.
Stryker
linebacker.
Or Eric Stryker?
Linebacker?
Yeah, Eric Stryker.
He's a good guy, though. He keeps everybody laughing, So
no doubt.
he would be the class clown.
There's always one.
Right.
There's always one, no doubt. Again, there's a lot to do from here. Senior Bowl, huge opportunity. You got the combine, you got the pro day, all that. A lot to work, obviously, from here, but this is an important step. What'd you do to not just physically train for this, but like mentally prepare for all this stuff?
I've been working with Pete Jenkins down in Baton Rouge on the physical part of it. And I've been working with Ryan Clark and Matt Flynn on the mental part of it, kind of like drawing plays on the board and understanding what the offense looks for, the weaknesses in defenses and things like that. So.
And again, making that transition not long ago, is it something that you think you're a little bit further behind than others as far as just the X's and O's? Have you been through the tests with some of these teams? Have they put you on the whiteboard tests?
Not yet.
Not
but,
yet. You will, though.
Yeah. I don't feel like I'm behind others, but I feel like I'm behind where I could be.
Sure.
Just because I'm still a year behind.
No doubt. Talk to me about just your playing weight right now. I got the weigh here, but remind me, what's your playing
245.
weight? 245 seems like for an inside backer, seems like the ideal weight. Is that where you like playing at? Or do you feel like maybe you could get a little quicker to get lighter? Do you feel like you want to put on more strength?
Definitely more strength. So if I could get up to about 250, that's what my ideal weight would be. But I wouldn't be working for myself. I'd be working for somebody else.
Right.
So whatever they think.
Take some of these Reese's, man. We'll bulk you up.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there maybe like a specific 40 time you have in mind? Because nowadays, at this combine, man, and it's funny. The more coaches you talk to, the more they say, "I want to watch the game film than the numbers." But it is what it is, man. The 40 time's huge. Have you started a little preparation for that yet? And if so, you got a general idea? I don't want to hear the 4240. All right, let's be realistic. You're an inside backer.
Yeah, that's what I do at traction and kind of work on some of the 40, the drills and the L drills and stuff like that. So Realistically, I'm thinking 4'7", 4'6".
Yeah,
So.
no doubt, no doubt. That'd be, again, for an inside backer, that's right where you want to be, I think. You talked about Eric Stryker, fun little teammate you got going on. You've only been out there one practice. Talk to me about, though, so far, who's been maybe impressed you or just been a tougher guy to go up against. I know you guys did some one-on-one pass rush drills earlier today.
One guy that impressed me is Dak Prescott.
No, Mississippi State quarterback.
He really goes through his reads.
Does he?
You can tell he's calm back there in that pocket. So
Okay.
Definitely on the offensive end, and then on the defensive end, Rankins, the D tackle.
D-tackle.
Right. So they both have impressed me the first day. So.
What is, coming in here, just on the field or off, what's one thing that you just wanted to prove to scouts or coaches that you could do or check off the, this off the box?
Just being more physical in between the tackles.
Okay.
That's one thing I really want to work on, while I'm here and in front, while the scouts are here. So.
Well, again, I watched a little tape. I found, what people are saying, pros and cons, and they say you're as athletic as they come. Again, former receiver. You certainly have the movement skills, sideline to sideline. Do you think you're a guy who can drop back in coverage as well and be a guy that can cover some of these tight ends in the NFL now?
And I feel like that's probably my strength is the coverage part of it. So
no doubt.
That's why I've been focusing so hard on the other part.
And I got to think too, just the way the league has become a